The stage is set for one of the most important races of the midterms. Despite a string of recently revealed controversies surrounding his past, Graham Platner won the Democratic primary for Maine Senate seat last night. He beat Governor Janet Mills in a landslide, winning nearly 72% of the vote. Mills had suspended her campaign in April, but her name remained on the ballot. Now Platner is preparing for the general in November, when he'll face off against incumbent Republican Senator Susan Collins. CBS News political reporter Zak Hudak joins us now. So, Zak, what tone did Platner strike in his victory speech? Actually, let's play some of it.
Susan Collins may have started her career decades ago in Washington with good intentions, but she has become just as spineless and corrupt as the establishment she now serves. She got elected promising to protect Roe versus Wade, only to turn around and put a justice of the Supreme Court who overturned it. She lied to us.
He also acknowledged some of his own controversies. So clearly primary voters were willing to look past some of that stuff. Will general election voters?
Lindsay, I think only time will tell, but I think one thing is certain. I think that we know that Susan Collins' campaign is going to be digging and pushing opposition research out as aggressively as humanly possible, because that's what happens when a campaign smells blood in the water. You keep digging and look for more. We know that they've already gotten about $42 million from the Maine GOP Senate PAC. So I think much of that money will be going to that. And then I think in the meantime, we'll be hearing the sitting senator really hammer home the idea that she is an independent who's worked with presidents from both parties and has actually broken from President Trump a few times. I'm sure she's sighing with relief, though, that he has frankly completely shut down his criticisms of her. She's not someone the president likes, but he realizes that the path for Republicans to maintain control of the Senate definitely goes through Maine.
Okay, so that's Maine. Let's talk South Carolina. The gubernatorial race closely watched last night. Congresswoman Nancy Mace did not advance in the GOP primary. The president's pick, the lieutenant governor, didn't win outright. She goes to a runoff. Why is that?
Lindsay, the obvious reason is that President Trump snubbed her. He waited until almost the last minute and then did not endorse her, endorsed one of her opponents. But there are several other things that happened here. By the end, her campaign was functionally broke. They did not do a good job of fundraising. So in those crucial final weeks, they were virtually off the air in terms of ads statewide. And that's very important in terms of pushing turnout in those last moments before the election. Then finally, I think really what was the nail in the coffin for her was that as she got a bit desperate and began slipping those last weeks, she became a bit more reckless. She suggested that there should be a law that makes it so that nationalized citizens cannot run for office. That was one of her opponents that would have disqualified. I think that rubbed some voters the wrong way. And then leading up to the election, before President Trump's endorsement, she tweeted an AI photo of herself with Trump, seemingly to try to push him toward an endorsement of her. But I think that also sat not very well with a lot of voters and was, frankly, the final straw that pushed her down to number 5 in that race.
Okay, Zak Hudak, thank you.